Welcome back to our series on angels, man, and sin. In this part of the series, we're talking about what it is to be human. And what we've learned so far in the last video is that if you really want to understand what a human is, you have to go to the one who created humans. You have to go to the right source. Since God is the one who created humans, He is the only one who can really define what a human is. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most important points when it comes to understanding what a human is. Here it is. Humans are made in the image of God. One of the most important texts on this idea comes from Genesis chapter 1. Listen to verses 26 and 27. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him. Male and female He created them. So in Genesis 1, God makes everything. And out of all creation, He decided to make something that would be a picture, a reflection, an image of who He is. So in order to do that, He made humans. And He made humans to be in His image. In a sense, human beings reveal who God is and what He's like. Humans are little pictures, little images of God. Now, this doesn't mean that God made us to be gods. No, not at all. Instead, He created us to bear the image of God. Now, we should clarify something at this point. When we say that someone is made in the image of God, we're not saying what we say when you look at a mother and a daughter. The daughter might look very similar to her mother, and we might say, boy, she is the spitting image of her mother, isn't she? What do we mean when we say that? Well, we probably mean that they have the same eyes or the same facial features. But when we say that humans are made in the image of God, we're saying something different. We're not saying that humans have the exact same physical features as God. After all, both men and women are equally made in the image of God, but they are physically very different than each other. So what exactly do we mean when we say that humans are made in the image of God? Wayne Grudem put it simply when he said this, quote, "Every way in which man is like God is a part of his being in the image and likeness of God." That raises the question, in what ways are humans a little bit like God? There's a lot that could be said. In this video, we're going to mention 5 ways in which humans bear the image of God and 1 implication. Let's get started. First, humans bear the image of God in that we rule and have dominion over creation. One of the things that distinguishes humans from all other living things is that humans have been given dominion and authority over creation. This distinguishes humans from animals and even from angels. Humans have authority and dominion, just as God Himself has authority and dominion. In other words, I think one of the ways that we reflect God is that we have authority and dominion over creation. Notice how closely these 2 ideas are connected, dominion and the image of God. Listen back in Genesis 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion." So what does it mean to be made in the image of God? I think part of it is that we are unique. We reflect God in that we have dominion over creation. I think that this dominion and authority that humans have over creation isn't something that we earn. It's just part of the essence of being a human. It's not just a responsibility that we possess to have dominion. It's part of the essence of who we are. After all, even a little child has more worth and is over animals. If you were to have to choose between rescuing an animal or rescuing a baby, of course you would rescue the baby. Why? It's because humans are over creation. Psalm 8 also talks about how God has put all things under our feet. Psalm 8 verse 4 says, "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of man that you care for him? Yet you have made him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned him with glory and honor. You have given him dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet. There that idea is once again. God made humans to be over all of his creation, the works of his hands. And that authority reflects something about what God is like. God is a God who himself has authority. Second, humans bear the image of God in that we are spiritual beings. That is to say, humans have a soul. We can have an awareness of God. We can have a relationship with God. Humans are more than just atoms and molecules. Humans have a soul. There's a part of you that will exist forever, either in heaven or in hell. This makes you different than the animals. Animals don't have souls. As someone who has a soul, you are capable of communicating with God and having a relationship and a friendship with God. By the way, all humans do relate to God. You're either an enemy of God or you're a friend or a child of God. Since you have a soul, you are a spiritual being. You can communicate with a spiritual God. Animals, on the other hand, they are not spiritual beings. They don't communicate with God. They are oblivious to God's existence. They're not wondering whether or not God exists. But humans can communicate with God. We are made in the image of God, and we are spiritual beings, just like God is. Third, humans bear the image of God in that we are relational beings. God exists as a relational God. God exists as a Trinity. God is three persons. God exists in community and in relationship. So for us to be made in the image of God means that humans are relational beings. And by the way, our capacity for love and relationship is infinitely superior to that of animals. Do animals have a sense of community and love and friendship? Certainly they do. But it pales in comparison to the capacity that a human has to know and love another human being, or to know and love God. God commands humans to love. You shall love the Lord your God. You shall love your neighbor. Humans are relational beings, and that reflects a little bit about what God is like, who God is and what he's like. Fourth, humans bear the image of God in that we are rational beings. Humans have a capacity to know and reason in a way that is far superior to that of animals. John MacArthur says it this way, quote, "Man has a rational mind. He is aware of himself, his environment, others, and God. He can think critically and logically. He possesses memory, imagination, creativity, and language skills for communicating and understanding the thoughts of others." Fifth, humans bear the image of God in that we are creative beings. Think about it. God is an incredibly creative God. Psalm 104:24 says this, "O Lord, how manifold are your works. In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures." The earth is full of God's creativity. And humans reflect God in that we too are creative. I'm always amazed at the fact that you don't have to teach a child to be creative. They're simply born that way, loving to create things. Humans create incredible things, symphonies, stories, paintings, sculptures. Humans are creative, and that reflects what the Creator is like. There's much more that could be said, but I want to end with an important implication of what it means to be made in the image of God. Here's an incredibly important implication. Since humans bear the image of God, we have incredible intrinsic worth. All humans have amazing, incredible value and worth. Not because of anything that we did or accomplished or contributed to society. We have intrinsic worth before God because we're made in the image of God. This is one of the reasons why taking a life is so incredibly heinous. Genesis 9:6 says this, "Whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God created or made mankind." In other words, what is it that makes suicide or murder so wrong? It's wrong not just because it hurts someone, It's wrong because humans have incredible worth that no other living being has. We are made in the image of God. So friends, all humans, whether they're young or old, whether they believe in Jesus or not, whether they're still in their mother's womb, whether they're on life support near the end of their life, all humans have incredible intrinsic value and worth. And that's a beautiful thing. I'm so glad I'm a Christian because the biblical worldview is unique in this way. Humans are made in the image of God. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.